The New York Times took a photograph
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंद की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानमयशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सारजाता सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साधुवैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देव श्री राधा कृष्ण पादा सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरंगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam pangam langayate girim yatkripātamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pacharane Shatane Panchatattvamakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam. Okay, this is the last verse we covered. Okay.
The Lord will bring to Kanai Natasha and then will return. All of you will come to know of this later, but I now say this with great assurance.
So, where did they go? Oh my God. So this is the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the last thing we discussed is the deep meditation of Rasinganand Brahmachari. That's great. He could make the road, and when he could not make the road, he's so confident Lord is walking on whatever he's doing in the mind. The Lord is accepting all the services that he is rendering in the mind. And when he could not make the road any further, he could understand that Lord is not going to go further. That is great. That confidence is great. So this is the last thing we discuss with respect to the power of Manasa Seva or serving in the mind. And if it is done with pure intention, the Lord definitely accepts the service. Okay, now we begin from
And what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to practice from Puriya toward Vrindavan. Thousands of men were with him. All of them were dead.
So what happened so far? Does anyone remember the summary? What happened so far?
Prabhu visited the place I don't remember in the series.
उसी वक्त रहता है 5 मिनट तक याद रहता है
क्रियाग्राम और उससे पहले मतलब वो फॉर्म में पता नहीं.
Anyone remembers the sequence? Anyone remembers what sequence Mahaprabhu visited? What was the first place he visited? Panihati. And then this is about Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is, and he's Krishna descended in the form of Lord Chaitanya in Bengal 500 years back. So we are discussing his pastimes. So, anyone remember? After Panihati, where did he go?
No, not the three. None.
Shivananda said, "No, maybe." I also don't remember.
No, that's not it.
Then he went to that he went later.
Yeah.
Okay, what all places he went, if not the sequence? He went to Shivananda's same house. Then he went to Shiva's Thakur in Kumarhatta. And then he went to um, um, Vidyanagar, Vidya Vachaspati's home. And then he went to um,
Yeah.
Shantipur. Um, after Vidyanagar, then he went to in Madhav Das homes. That's where this prediction happened. And from here he will continue. Okay. Thank you for helping. Okay. So when when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to proceed from Kulia toward Vrindavan, thousands of men were with him, and all of them were devotees. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Wherever the Lord visited, crowds of innumerable people. When they saw all their unhappiness and lamentation.
So there were innumerable people who were going along with the Lord. Wherever the Lord went, they were going with the Lord, traveling with the Lord.
Wherever the Lord touched the ground with his lotus feet, people immediately came and gathered the dirt. Indeed, they gathered so much that many holes were created in the road.
Wherever the Lord touched,
I didn't read that one. I was just thinking, oh, maybe they're just thinking, oh,
yeah, there is hole after hole after hole as Mahaprabhu was walking. Everybody wanted dust from the feet of the Lord. So they were just gathering all the dust as the Lord was walking.
Avla, Prabhu, Rama, Rama, Gaudeva, Nikhata, Rama, Api, Anipam. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eventually arrived at a village named Ramakeli. This village is situated on the border of Bengal and is very cute.
So now he came to a place, Ramkeli.
Saham Nitya Kare Prabhu Preme Achetana Koti Koti Loka Veshte Dekite Charan. While performing Sankirtana in Ramakeli Grama, the Lord danced and sometimes lost consciousness due to love of God. While at Ramakeli Grama, an unlimited number of people came to see his lotus feet.
So many were going with him, and so many came to meet him at Ramkeli. So there was like a gathering, like it is described, hundreds of thousands of people came to see the darshan of the Lord.
Odaveswara Yavana Raja Nagara Sunina and killed the village which is Vikraswana. When the Muslim king of Bengal heard of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's influence in attracting innumerable people, he became very much astonished and began to speak as follows. At that time, the Muslim king of Bengal was Nawab Hussain Shah Badshaw.
So then he came to Ramkeli. Ramkeli had a king ruler, and the name of the king was Nawab Hussain Shah. He was a Muslim ruler, and it says, Gauraveshwara Yavana Raja Prabhava Suniya Kahite Lagila Kichu Vishmitahana. So Raja, Yavana Raja, which is the Yavana is Muslim, when the Muslim king Prabhava Suniya, when he heard the glories of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became astonished. He's like, how is it possible? Hundreds of thousands of people are coming to see who he is. He was thinking in this way. But he was a very cruel king. And those who know the story, this same king, he put Sanatana Goswami in the jail later on. So he was a very, very cruel king. But the influence of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after Mahaprabhu left, influence went away. But for short time of time, anybody surrounding Mahaprabhu will be influenced. So we'll see how he was influenced. Again, he became cruel. That point of time, we will see. Brahmaji.
If a person who is followed by so many people without giving them clarity must be a prophet, I can surely understand this fact.
Vinadana eta loka yanra pache haya seita gosai iha janiha nishchaya. Vinadane eta loka yanra pache haya. Vinadan matlab he is not giving any payment. He is not giving any charity. Vinadan eta loka, so many people yanra pache haya. Hundreds of thousands of people are coming behind him without him giving anything. Seita gosai iha janiha nishchaya. So this is guaranteed he is a gosai. If you see, nobody goes behind, everybody goes behind somebody for wealth. But if you see, like one time, my spiritual master was telling, yeah, one person was telling, in my company, there are this IT, and so my company is very influential. So my Guru Maharaj said, yeah, here is Gaurang Das and his Radhisham, and they're all IT. But I don't pay them any salary. You pay them hundreds of thousands, but they're working for me full time. So Guru Maharaj will say, if hundreds of thousands of people are working for this without any payment, he must be a Gosai. Otherwise, this is not possible. He must be a prophet.
The Muslim king ordered the magistrate, do not disturb this little prophet out of jealousy. Let him do his own will wherever he may.
Jo chao karne do. Whatever he likes to do, let him do. Don't touch him. Don't be envious of it. This is such an envious person is speaking. The temporary influence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on. Because Mahaprabhu was there, that Prabhav was emanating throughout. Anybody who meets Mahaprabhu, they become pure devotees. At that point of time, at least. But he came back to his original nature later on. But at that point of time, he's a Gosai, he's a prophet. Don't touch him.
When the Muslim king asked his assistant, Keshava Chatri, for news of the influence of Chaitanya, Mahaprabhu Keshava Chatri, although knowing everything about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, tried to avoid the conversion by not giving any importance to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities. He gave no importance to the Lord's activities so that the Muslim king could take him to the ordinary man and would not give him any trouble.
So the Muslim king asked his magistrate, Keshav Chatri, what is the influence? He said, not much. Why he said that? Because the magistrate was also influenced that he should not do anything to the Lord. Everybody was trying, although they all were envious people, they all had that love for Lord Chaitanya. They all want to protect Lord Chaitanya.
Keshava Chatri informed the Muslim king that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a mendicant touring different places of pilgrimage, and that as such only a few people came to him.
He told him, who is he? Bikhari hai, mendicant hai, ek do log aate dekhne ke liye. So don't give him importance, take him out of your mind, let him do what he wants to do. This is his motive, out of positively influenced by the Lord's presence.
After pacifying the king in this way, Keshava Chatri sent a Brahmana messenger to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, requesting him to leave without delay.
So then what happened? Then after that, Keshav Chatri said, one or two people come and not much influence. So he said, Brahmana, you go and check so that there is not much impact in the mind of this cruel Muslim king.
In private, the king inquired from Davira Kasa, Srila Rupa Goswami, who began to speak about the glories of the Lord.
So then the king had another servant who was working for him, but he's a great Vaishnava. We will see. His name was Dabir Khas. So yes, Dabir Khas, what have you heard about this man who is visiting?
Srila Rupa Goswami said the Supreme Personality of Godhead who gave you this kingdom and whom you accept as a prophet has taken birth in your country due to your good fortune.
So what did Rupa Goswami say?
Who gave this land, kingdom?
So he is telling the Supreme Personality of Godhead who gave you this kingdom and whom you accept as a prophet has taken birth in your country due to your good fortune, which is Bengal. So what is Rupa Goswami's first statement about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He is Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead who gave you this kingdom and whom you accept as a prophet. He said he must be a prophet. So Rupa Goswami is very clear. He said the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by whose mercy you are the king, and whom you are calling it as a prophet. By your great fortune, he has appeared in your land. So what do you think about Rupa Goswami here? First thing is he is fearless. You see that? This is a very cruel Muslim king, and he's telling he's Supreme Personality of God. He's fearless and he's honest. Smart.
This prophet always desires your good fortune. By his grace, all your business is successful. By his blessing, you will attain his will everywhere.
If you have his grace, you will be successful. You will be victorious. Everything is happening by his grace only in your life. And another thing is, he is a well-wisher. No matter who you are, he is your well-wisher. Even if you're cruel, he is your well-wisher.
I have your question. Better you question your own mind, because you are the king of the people. You are the representative of the Supreme Personality of God. Therefore, you can understand this better than me.
So then what did Rupa Goswami say? Ask within yourself who he is. King is usually representative of God. So he will reveal to you. Ask within your heart. Check in your heart, who is this personality?
I consider Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be the Supreme Personality of God. There is no doubt.
Raja kahe suna mora man yahi laya. He said, listen, my mind is telling me, Sakshat Ishvara Iha. He is Sakshat Ishwar. He is directly Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nahika Samshaya. I have no doubt about it. This is great. This influence of Lord Chaitanya on this Muslim king.
After having this conversation with Rupa Goswami, the king entered his private house. Rupa Goswami, then known as Dabir Kasa, also returned to his residence. Hare Adi Duli Bhai, Vikati Parivar, Prabhu Jesivar, Chale Vesha, Lakhal, Dukhal. After returning to his residence, Kabira Kasa and his brother decided after much consideration to go see the Lord.
Yukti means Ghare asi doi bhai yukati karina. So they made some plan. Prabhu dekhi bare chale vesha lukana. By hiding your identity, let's go and see the Lord who has come to our village.
Ratri Bhai, Kaila Prabhu Kami, Pradhani Vilinda, Nityananda Haridasa Swami. Thus, in the dead of night, the two brothers, Dabir Kas and Sakhar Malik, went to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu incognito. First they met Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur.
I was thinking, अर्धरात्रि भी जगे हुए हैं वो सब लोग. There is no time. Like अर्धरात्रि, Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu are in the front and the Lord is inside. And they went and first they met Nitai and Haridas Thakur. Doi bhai.
Sri Ch1 Prabhu and Haridas Bhaktara told Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu two personalities, Sri Rupa and Sanatana, had come to see.
Actually, their name is mentioned, but name was not Rupa Sanatan that time. Just for our reference is mentioned. Two Muslim personalities have come to see you in their covered hidden identity. So they informed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is actually meeting place of Lord Chaitanya and Rup Sanatan Goswami at Ramkeli in Malda. You can go and visit where the actual meeting happened. And there is a big deity of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there. This is in Bangladesh, first meeting.
In great humility, both brothers took bunches of straw between their teeth and each bending a cloth around his neck fell down like clouds before the Lord.
So they came inside and they took a blade of grass. That is sign of humility, and tied their neck and sashtang, prostrated obeisances. This is the first meeting of Rupa and Sanatan with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Ramkeli. But Mahaprabhu has received many letters from him, but this is the first time they are meeting. Yes.
Upon seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the two brothers were overwhelmed with joy, and out of humility they began to cry. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked them to get up and assured them of all good luck.
Dainya Rodana Kare Anande Vivala. Means with great humility, they started crying out of joy. Anande Vivala. Prabhu Kai Utha Utha Haila Mangala. He said, get up, all good fortune upon you. This is the first word Mahaprabhu spoke to them. May all good fortune be upon you.
Prabhuji, they are king's relative, right?
Okay, so they are born in a Brahmana family from Karnataka. And they were leader of Brahmana families. Very intelligent. And whatever they say, everybody would follow. So this Nawab Hussain Shah, they were living in Ramkeli. So Nawab Hussain Shah told them that you both become my servant. They said, we are not going to work for a Muslim king. They said, if you don't work for me, then we'll kill all the Brahmanas. So then the situation came that they had to take administrative post for the Muslim king and support the Muslim. This Muslim was a cruel. So what he would do is he would go to different state, he would rob everybody there and take all the money and bring him back to his kingdom. So he was a very sinful man. So they never want to work for him. But they thought if he don't work, they will kill all the Brahmana caste from the village. So then they started working for him out of force. But they would work for him, but in their house, they had Vrindavan. And they would read Bhagavata. And they would send letter, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please come and save us. They were pure devotees of the Lord right from their childhood. But they were working a very low job because they were helpless. Dharma Sankat. To save their life or do sinful activity. So they thought saving their life is better. Let us suffer for our sinful activities. Let them be okay. But their natural humility, they would consider themselves as Muslims because they're working for a Muslim king, but they are very exalted devotees. Anupam was also there, but the name is not mentioned, but he was there. All three went there.
Vedante Prana Hari Daina Kari Stuti Kare Kara Yodakari. The two brothers got up and again took his straw between their teeth. They humbly offered their prayers with the folded hands.
Dainya Kari Stuti Kare Karayada Kari. Stuti matlab? Prayers. So Dainya Kari, with all humility, Mahaprabhu said, Utha, get up. So they got up and with all humility, they started offering prayers. So now what prayers they offered to Lord Chaitanya in the first meeting will follow.
Jaya Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Daya Maya Patita Pavana Jaya Jaya Mahajaya
All glories to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the most merciful savior of the fallen souls. All glories to the Supreme Personality.
So Pavana means purifier and Patita means fallen. So Patita Pavana means the purifier of the fallen souls. So they are referring to Lord Chaitanya as Patita Pavan and they are referring to themselves as fallen. So please, you are Dayamay, most merciful. Please be merciful unto us.
Dear Lord, let us inform you that no one is more sinful than us, nor is there any offender like us. Even if we wanted to mention our sinful activities, we would immediately become ashamed. And what to speak of giving them up?
Okay, any reflection here? Any reflections?
When they are working Muslim king,
Yeah.
they are saying we are sinful. But
If
when they offered prayers, that time only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no, they are the Rupa and Sanatana, and they are the one sending the letters.
yeah, Rupa and Sanatan doesn't exist those names.
Yeah.
Mahaprabhu will give those names in this conversation. But Mahaprabhu knows they are my eternal associates. Mahaprabhu knows, and he will reveal that you don't know, but you are my eternal associate. You're not meeting me, I have come to meet you here. That is my only purpose to come to this village, is to meet both of you. So Mahaprabhu will reveal that later. But their mood is, even if we wanted to mention our sinful activity, we would immediately become ashamed. Does it happen to all of us? If we have to speak of our sinful activities, we'll be ashamed of it. Unless we are completely pure, we'll be ashamed of speaking about ours. They're very honest in this. If we mention about our activities, we feel ashamed. And shame is also a voice of guilt. That's why we don't want to speak the truth, because if you're ashamed of speaking something, that's a sign that that's something we may not be doing it. That's why we are ashamed to speak about it. So they are telling, even if we have to speak about, we will be ashamed. And what to speak about giving them up means we are ashamed, but it's difficult to give them up. And how is it relative to Rupa and Sanatana Goswami? They cannot give up working for a Muslim king because the Brahmana caste, their life is in danger. But for us, it's a different meaning. For us, it's just attachment. For them, they are bound by those circumstances. And we cannot give it up, and we are ashamed speaking about those. So our only hope is your mercy. If you show mercy, then something can happen. Otherwise, by ourselves, we are just keep on drowning more and more and more in the sinful activities. So we are begging you. This is their mood. Yeah.
This sentence had some reflection.
Yeah.
So just want to share. This morning I was reading to Guru Maharaj class about 26 qualities of evolution or a devotee that we need to develop. This phrase tells us how truthful is one should be, how humble one should be.
Honest. Yeah.
Or those are how honest you should be. These are some qualities that I heard in that.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Generally, we are unwilling to share about ourselves because we are afraid of how we will be received, how we will be perceived. But then when there is no desire to be honored, then one will be honest. They don't see how they're honest just because it depends. In the beginning, we have a desire to please the world and not please Krishna. And that's the cause of so many troubles. But when our reflection is transferred to pleasing the Lord and doing everything for the pleasure of the Lord, then this thing goes away. It is said that we have to please somebody. It is natural for us to impress somebody. And when that and the right propensity is to use that to please Krishna. And it is described everything should be done to please Krishna. But this material body is a reflection, perverted reflection. So when Krishna not in the picture, then we try to please either some people or generally some people. And based on our attachments, we try to impress or please somebody. And then fear is there. But when Krishna is in the center, then fear is not there. Because there is nothing to deal in horizontal. It's about vertical. But it's a very advanced stage. Okay,
So
thank you.
but some people like they are not close to, I mean, like not connected close to God. Like sometimes like they didn't expect like tell truth, like they don't think that like they be honored. So like how that happens?
Can you ask your question again? If some people are not
like,
God
They
conscious.
are not God conscious, like but still like they do talk like truth, though they know like they won't honor.
Yeah, so that is sign of goodness. When they are in goodness, their happiness comes from the impression that I am honest. And they enjoy their being honest, but they are still enjoying for themselves. They know if I am truthful, my impression in other people is that I am truthful, I am honest, I will not say lie. And that's their ahankar. And I will not lie. Does it answer? But still the same problem. But they want to enjoy. They want to enjoy how much goodness you want to enjoy, it keeps on going. But when Krishna is not in the center, definitely I am in the center. Only way is bring Krishna in the center. Thank you. Okay.
The two brothers submitted, Dear Lord, you have incarnated to deliver the fallen souls. You should consider that in this world there is none so fallen as us.
पतित पावन हेतु तोमार अवतार आमाबाई जगते पतित नहीं आर आमाबाई jagate patita nahi aar. There is nobody as patita in this jagat, and you have come to purify the fallen. And we are very fallen because we are ashamed of our activities and we are unable to give them up, and we are in a very hopeless state. So the only hope is if you bestow your mercy. See, we are in the same state, but we may not be in the same state of consciousness. Correct? State तो वही हमारा भी कि पतित है, पर हम लोग we may not have realized it, or we may not have that eagerness to become pure and develop love. We may be in a mood of casuality, like casual. Yeah, we are pathetic, it's okay. We're pathetic, it's okay. But they are in a mood ki, in a helpless state they are in. They realize, we also realize, but they are like, my Lord, you are Patita Pavan. Please help us. There is no hope. We are helpless. So that urgent feeling is there. And that's what make them recipient of Lord's mercy. It's very subtle, but they become recipient. Like Radhanath Swami Maharaj says, mercy is ready to flow, but are we the right patra to receive the mercy? Right patra is humbleness. So if you are humble, then mercy flows, we can collect it. But he says proud is like this. Any mercy flows and we cannot collect it. So we have to, it's just a consciousness that will prepare us to receive the Lord's mercy. Just the consciousness. Yes.
Yes, right. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Jagai Madai Karile Uddahara Dahan Daraite Sama Nahila Tamara. You have delivered the two brothers, Jagai and Madai, but to deliver them, you did not have to exert yourself very much.
So Jagai and Madai were very sinful people. And Mahaprabhu, initially, he delivered them. They were very sinful. But Mahaprabhu, actually, they offended Lord's brother. Then Mahaprabhu was very angry. So Mahaprabhu called his Sudarshan Chakra, which Krishna carries. He called his Sudarshan Chakra to kill both of them. But they both fell at the feet of the Lord and begged forgiveness. Then Mahaprabhu eventually forgave them. So this Rupa and Sanatana are telling that, and they were actually very, very sinful people. But Rupa and Sanatana consciousness is like that. You have delivered them, that's okay. But delivering us is a real difficult challenge. So they consider themselves as more fallen, although they are very exalted devotees of the Lord. But in their humility, they feel like we are completely unqualified. And today, while driving, that's the song I was contemplating on Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Remember the song where he goes into Atar Dainya mode. Amar Jivan Sada Bhakti Nahi So this is his life. And it is said that this quality will naturally develop as anarthas goes away. The more anarthas goes away, the more humility will descend. And the more anarthas are there, the more we don't see ourselves, because the anarthas, they cover us. So we're not able to see. Or even if we see, we don't care about it. So, and if you see Chaitanya Sisa Ashtakam, the fourth verse, which is Trinada Pisuni Chinatari Vasaishana, that corresponds to the stage of Nishtha. Nishtha means when anarthas, to the extent anarthas goes away, then that stage will naturally come. And when that stage comes, then we'll be able to chant the holy name continuously. And then comes, I don't want women, I don't want wealth, I don't want name and fame. Like I think one of you asked that when Krishna is in the center, when we are not in the center, that will come when the taste is so high of our Krishna consciousness that we are able to reject anything material. Because naturally we are attracted to material objects. But that's because there is no higher taste to hold on to. Then where do I go? Let me find something material. But that state won't come. Before that state come, real taste, there is a constant chanting going on in the mind. Devotees are asking, do you chant all the time? I say, no, I'm not really. They are asking, no, do you chant all the time? I said, very unfortunate, 16 hours only. But that state will come when dainya will descend. And humility will descend, then Kirtanya Sadahari will come. And when that comes, with that humility, if you're constantly chanting, naturally Ruchi will develop. Naturally, it will develop their taste. But so this anarthas, they stop us from this humility. And actually, the more anarthas goes away, the more we realize how bad I am. The more anarthas are there, the more we feel that I'm great. Everybody has bad qualities except me. Class. When it goes away, it changes the turn. Becomes opposite. Yes, ma'am.
Nitya Sevana Pitare, the brothers Jagai and Madai belonged to the Brahman caste, and their residence was in the holy place of Navadvipa. They never served low-class persons, nor were they instruments to abominable activities.
So what is the reflection on this? What did they say about Jagai Madai?
They are Brahmana.
They're Brahmana caste. Is Rupa and Sanatana Brahmana caste? Yeah. Then why are they thinking they are Brahmana, we are not Brahmana? So they think that no, we are Malechas. They are Brahmanas. And what else they say? Their residence was in a holy place of Navadvip. Our residence is not. So they are better. They are Brahmanas, so they are better. And then they never served low class persons. We are serving Muslims, they did not serve. So they are better. Nor were they instrument of abominable activities. So they are better. But if you see, there is no fault of Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. But their perspective is such that they are all good and we are all bad. Recently, we were discussing with some devotees that this tendency will grow as we become more Krishna conscious. This tendency to find fault will go. One lecture I was hearing by one devotee. He is from Houston, one senior brahmachari of Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, and he was mentioning if mind is finding fault or mind is disturbed, he said that's because you're not pleasing Guru and Krishna. But if you see, when we become dear to the Lord, the mind becomes very stable. Stable mind means no matter what happened, you cannot see fault in others. But when the mind is disturbed, little bit, the mind will say, what does he think of himself? Or what does she think of himself? Why they are like this? And then mind will speak. And then that's the way that then our consciousness becomes disturbed, difficult, and then mind may develop some kind of internal anger. We may tolerate, but the reason we need to tolerate is because there is an internal anger developing, and then there is a need to tolerate.
When we say that stable, and just my understanding maybe, it's anything can, anything happens to us or me, then it's just a stable, irrespective of the situation, right? That's my understanding.
Yeah.
But what I heard is like, if you are not happy, if you don't have the tendency of judging the people, that is the stable. Is it the same as meaningful?
Yeah, if we don't judge people, very good. If we judge them, in a way, we find fault in them. Like we find some fault in them. They're like this. They have no interest in Krishna consciousness.
How is that related to the stable?
Stable mind won't find fault in them. Stable mind will be like situation will be up and down. They will be absorbed in Krishna consciousness, and they will see the hand of Krishna. They will see that this Krishna's arrangement. They will still think positive of them. Suppose if somebody is not interested in Krishna consciousness, they will think, okay, how can I help? Instead of they're like this only. Or somebody doesn't have service attitude, they're like this only. A stable mind will think positive of them in all circumstances. Like the principle of being a well-wisher. Like Krishna is a well-wisher. Now, the kind of people Krishna deals are like, they're really unstable people. Like Putana and Agasura and so on. They're really disturbed mind. They're full of anger. But Krishna still sees good in them. So here, there is a positive outlook to the circumstances. Unstable mind is like very eager to judge and find fault in them and like reject, or kind of internal anger will come. Anger is a sign of unstable mind also, internal anger. And different people express anger in different ways. Some people outward, they are very nice and sweet and everything, but internal anger may develop. Some people outside also, they are like,
Yeah.
so that is something that is still anartha, right? Growth is an anartha. And there is pride needs to be there in order to become angry also. And naturally dainya will come and positive outlook. Now, the more we acquire that state, the more pleasing we become to Guru and Krishna. Naturally, right? But then we are helpless also. So the only hope is sincere sadhana will give us strength and patience, but sincere sadhana. And just have faith that we will overcome whatever the situation we are in. It's all positive. But then at least one thing that can come by that, we can feel humbled by our own mind and say, just time is wasting and nothing is moving. So that way we can at least take a humble position that I'm degraded. And if we feel that I'm degraded, then we can glorify others with genuinity that others are great. All right?
In one of our class, I don't know I remember there was a thing that was stated. If your mind is trying to find fault in someone, it means that you have that bad quality in you. It's not, that's right.
That's true. Sasai Thakur says that. He says if you point finger on somebody, then 3 times finger is on us. So when we have, thank you, what we see in others is a reflection of our bad quality. If we see that others do not have any service attitude, that's because we lack our service attitude. Or others do not have any interest in their spiritual life, that's because we lack the same quality. So we are just seeing our fault in others and we are becoming angry at them, which is actually our own fault. Very nice. Thank you. All right. Who is supposed to read? Did we read this? I think we, yeah, we read it. Okay.
At one point, they will addition to simple activities. However, volumes of simple activity can be brought to action simply by a description of the chanting of your behavior.
So they said they have one fault, and their fault was they were addicted to sinful activity. But then they counteract by saying, but volume of sinful activity can be burnt to ashes simply by a dim reflection of the chanting of your holy name. So because they're chanting Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, so they are freed immediately. So some fault is there, but it doesn't matter. So this is another quality of a Vaishnava is like you were discussing the other day. I mean, it's not that they are blind. It's not that they don't see that the fault is there. Prabhupada says to call a thief is not wrong because he is the thief. So you cannot say that he is not a thief. So that's Prabhupada said that's not fault finding. To call a thief is okay. But then they also see that they were sinful. But how they cover it up? Yes, they were sinful, but that's just a small negative aspect. And they are saying they are Brahmanas, they are born in Navadvip, they. So they are seeing great qualities and they have some sinful activity, but that can be easily mitigated by one chanting of the holy name. That's not so. So their overall impression of Jagai Madhai is positive. And that's something we can learn is even if we see somebody has some bad qualities, then can we try to see good in those people and let that good feelings dominate in us more, and overall we have a positive impression about them? If we can do that, Krishna will be pleased with us. And if we have negative feeling towards somebody, then we all know the result, right? We all have experience. You start chanting and like completely destroyed because I'm not happy with your consciousness. So this is something that we are trying to cultivate, although that may not be natural for us. That's why Prabhupada would say bhakti is a sort of cultivation. So we don't go with our natural flow, rather we receive help from superior consciousness and try to rectify our consciousness. And we fake it till we make it. And that's where the help comes. And then we try to see and pacify it. Again, we become agitated, disturbed. Again, try to pacify. That's why there is so much emphasis on reading Prabhupada books, Shavaram and Kirtanam, so that we need a higher help to continuously rectify our consciousness. Otherwise, our mind will naturally go to its natural state. And natural state is not very great. So we need a higher help to be able to see from a positive perspective. So let's read maybe just 1 or 2 verses.
Are millions and millions of times indicates generalized. We are more degraded.
कोई समझ सकता है? So they are telling Jagai Madai Haite Koti Koti Guna. They have millions of gunas, qualities. Adhama Patita Papi Ami Dui Jana. But we two people are papis, are fallen. Now, if you see one thing, Rupa Goswami is not speaking about himself only. He is including Sanatana Goswami also. Ami Dui. हम दोनों लोग पापी है. And Prabhupada Maharaj said this is a sign of humility. When you involve the people you love as very fallen. That's a sign of love also. Like somebody comes and we say we are all very fallen, then that's a sign of relationship. Instead of I'm very fallen, they are all great. There is a deeper relationship when you consider, like either husband or wife, they say, Prabhuji, we both are very fallen. That's a symptom of love because they are their relation. So here he is telling, हम दोनों पापी है. Although they are both great, sir, and he is involving him. ये भी पापी है मेरे साथ. So he should also receive the mercy. As much as I need, he needs also. So Maharaj, that's a sign of humility. Amin.
Prabhuji, why they are comparing with Vedas?
Because he delivered them, Mahaprabhu. They also want to be delivered. And Mahaprabhu's name is Patita Pavan. So if we deliver them, not so great. We are below them. So if you deliver us, then the whole world will call you Patita Pavan. It's not so great to deliver them. So you don't get a name Patita Pavan by delivering them. By delivering us, you will get that name. So, what do you think about it?
Indirectly, they are requesting.
They want to receive the mercy of the Lord. Yes, Mata.
लेच जाति लेच सेवी हरि लेच कर्मा गो ब्राह्मण गोहि संगे हमारा संगमा. Actually, we belong to the caste of meat eaters because we are servants of meat eaters. Indeed, our activities are exactly like those of the meat eaters. Because we always associate with such people, we are inimical towards the cows and Brahmins.
Go Brahmana Drohi Sange. I am a Go Brahmana Drohi. Cows and Brahmanas, what do? I offend them. Sange Amara Sangama. Malecha Jati means my caste is Malecha, meat eater. Malecha Sevi, I serve meat eaters. Kari Malecha Karma, my karma is Malecha. My karma is. Prabhupada says Malecha and Yavana are two. Malecha, Yavana are basically meat eaters are Malecha and Yavanas. Meat eaters are not considered as part of Vedic society. They are rejected from Vedic society. Because you see, Vedic societies, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. None of them are Go Brahman Drohis. But meat eaters are considered as Yavanas and Malechas. So they are telling themselves as that, although they never kill a cow, they never ate a cow, they never do any of these things. They are like very pure life. But because they are serving somebody who is a kind of cow eater, they are thinking themselves as them, all those things. And actually, Jagai Madhai, they would do all these things. I don't know what kind of vision they have. Now, for us, Jagai Madhai, we cannot relate. But for us, we can relate. If somebody is, we are angry at somebody, suppose somebody is not at all a good person, and if we think they are better than us, then we are following Rupa and Sanat. Does it make sense? If somebody really has some bad qualities, and we think they are better than us, then that's following Rupa and Sanat. Because we cannot compare to Jagai Madhai. Jagai Madhai are their contemporaries, not ours. It's easy to say, yeah, we are following Jagai Madhai. No, then it's just words. Is somebody whom we don't like, can we think they are better than us? As a matter of fact, everybody. Because Jagai Madhai were most degraded. So their consciousnesses, they are better than us. So can we think of anybody that we are connected to as better than us? Like my spiritual master says, good consciousness is everybody is better devotee than you. And not so good consciousness is I am better than some. I cannot say I'm better than everybody because naturally if Guru Maharaj comes, serious devotees come, we cannot say better than them. But if you're thinking better than some, then that's we can work on that. If there's an opportunity for some reflection on that consciousness. Okay, so it's 9 p.m. Although I want to read more, but we are bound by time. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivinda ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol, Vanchakalpa Tarudhesha, Depatundane, Vacha, Panditana, Pavanika, Vaishnava. Anybody would like to volunteer to sing Nashing Aarti? Anybody interested?
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Prahladaladayine. Narsimha Bharato Narsimha Yeto Yeto Yami Tato Narsimha Bhave Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha Narasimha Madhim Sharanam Prabhati Savakara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipo Stanabringa Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. भगवान की
जय।
शिरोमणि प्रभात महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंद।
Hari Bol. We are ending on Zoom. Gaudi Mataji, thank you all for joining. Hare Krishna. Om Sivilas Prabhu Nirima Mataji Sami Dandavat. Hare Krishna.